Hi guys, this is U4. We'll start with A1. So a quick U4 A1 video, just some things to go over when we talk about lines. Lines are always going to have x to a degree of 1. Okay, so what you'll see is something like y equals x is your basic line, and y equals mx plus b. But you will never see a number up here. So when you look at this here, x by itself is really to the power of 1, right? So it's not to the 0. X to the 0 will be a different thing. You'll learn that later. But when you have y is equal to something, 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 x, and the highest degree of the x value is 1, then you have a line. If you have a squared or a cubed or whatever you want in there, that will beat the line in the world of math equations. You have the biggest guy wins. So it's like the animal kingdom, I guess. I don't know. But the big guy wins here. So if it's squared, you will have a parabola. If it's a cubed, you have another shape, and you keep going. And that's kind of grade 12 math. So let's get back to what we're doing now, which is lines. Your basic equation for line is y equals mx plus b, and this is called slope-intercept form. And what you have here is y is equal to a number times x plus another number. Okay, and let's make this 8 in this case. So this is 3x plus 8. So this is y-intercept form. So you have your slope here, and it's this, or your letter m represents your slope, and your y-intercept is here. So when you are going to sketch this, you can sketch it really quickly from your equation. You start at 8. Okay, this is your y-intercept. You start at 8, and then your slope is 3. So in this case, you go over 1 up 3 because it's positive. Positive slope means go up. Connect the dots and connect the dots. If you miss the line, the dot, what I do is make the dot bigger. Okay, something I've learned over the years. And there is your line. So if you want to have another, if you have another slope, and let's say it's negative x plus 1, positive 1 is your intercept. Your slope here is negative 1. So that means go over 1, down 1, and then you connect the dots, arrows on both sides, and that would be that line there. Okay, so that's your one version of the line, and there's another version of the line, and that's what this unit's all about, and that is this one, ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, which we call standard form. Okay, so you might have this 3x plus 7y plus 11 is equal to 0, and you know this is a line because when you look at your x value here, you have it to the power of 1. So there's nothing, sorry, there is no exponent written on top of the x. So it's assumed that it's 1. Now, this is fine. This is standard form, and this is good, but you don't get the information that you get from y-intercept form. Sorry, the slope y-intercept form. Because here you get the slope, and here you have the y-intercept, and it's easy to graph. So what we tend to do is we take one form of the equation, the standard form, and we change it by isolating for y into the y equals mx plus b form. So to do that, you have to use some of the math that we've done in the past. So if I have 2x plus, I don't know, 6y minus 3 or 8 is equal to 0. Okay, that's my equation. I want it to be y equals something times x plus something. Okay, and there I have my mx and my b. So what I do is I isolate for y. So what you want is you want the y's on one side and everything else on the other. So let's leave the y here. So 6y is equal to, and then we're going to move these over. So when you bring these over, these are adding to the y. So when you bring them over, you have to subtract. So that becomes minus 2x, and then you subtract minus 8. Okay, or you add. Another way to look at it, some people like to do it this way: you add 8 to each side. Okay, and in that case, you end up with this either way. So I like to say it's subtracting on this side. You bring it over, you have to add. It's adding on this side, you bring it over, you subtract. Okay. Other people like to say, let's get rid of it by applying the opposite operation on both sides. So minus 2x on this side, minus 2x on this side, plus 8 on this side, plus 8 on this side. Either way, you get minus 2x plus 8. So we're getting there. What we need now is to get rid of the 6. So what you're going to do is divide by 6, the whole thing by 6. But instead of writing it like this, okay, divided by 6, there's nothing wrong with this, but it won't give me this form. So what you want to do is when you divide by 6, you want to divide each element here by 6. So this divided by 6, and this divided by 6. And then just put them in lowest terms. So I have negative 1/3 x, and this is 8 6. That's 4/3 in lowest terms, or 1 1/3, either way. And now if I look at this, my equation is y is equal to negative 1/3 x plus 4/3. So if you were asked to graph this, this is hard to graph, this is not. Okay, so if I go here, I have my intercept of 4/3, which is just over 1. Okay, so wherever that is. And then I have a negative slope of 1/3. So that is, when you have a fraction, you can always go over 1 and then down or up what this number is. So you can go over 1 down 1/3. Or another way to do it, and it's the same thing, is when you have a fraction like this, you can go over 3 down 1. Okay, this says down. So normally if I have, like, let's say 5 is my m, that's really the same as 5 over 1. So I'm going over 1 up 5, right? But here I have 1/3, actually negative 1/3. So I go over 3 up 1. So that's over and up. Okay. So here, if I want to plot this next point, I can go over 3 down 1, plot my point somewhere around there, connect the dots, and I'm done. Okay, so that's changing from standard form to y equals mx plus b form, which helps you out considerably. Okay, I hope that helped.